So, what I wanted to do, Nicola, is just ask you, as a student to the Green and Gold training, to just find out a little bit about you and how you found the training. And hopefully, it's helpful for anybody else who's either watching these videos or listening to whether or not they think it's maybe something for them.
Yeah.
I have some questions that I'm going to ask you, and just if you can answer them as honest and as how you feel fit, really.
Yeah.
So, how did you find out about sugaring?
So I found out by one of my clients, I'd had my bike accident and so had to kind of send my clients elsewhere, which
Oh,
I didn't want to do. Um,
yeah,
but I'd kind of just said, right, you need to go elsewhere. And then when I'm back, you need to come back because obviously I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get back.
make sure you
And
come
one,
back.
yeah, well, I was like, right, I'm coming back, I'm coming back. One of my clients came to me when I got back and said, oh my God, Nick, I've just had sugar in. You need to look into it.
Okay.
So I'd obviously heard about it because when I trained years ago, sugaring was a thing, but none of us did it because it was really hard. So I said, oh, yeah, I'll look into it. And I tried looking into it, couldn't find anything. So kind of gave up. She then came back the following month. Have you found anything? Because, we've really got to do it. And obviously, she'd come back to waxing because that's all I did.
Yep.
So I then said, no, I've looked into it. I can't find anything. I'm giving up. And she was like, oh, it's such a shame. And then a lady I follow on Instagram,
Hmm.
I can't think what her name is, she'd put something out about sugaring.
Okay.
She's in London. So I messaged her saying, look, can you tell me a bit more about it? I want to get into it, but I don't know how to. And she passed on all of the information.
And that
So
was
then I contacted Emma and
yeah,
was like, I'm really interested. And then that's how it all started.
just like tell me more, tell me everything. Was
Yeah.
it an easy process once you got Emma's details for Green and Gold? Did
Oh,
that
yeah.
okay?
Totally. I then just booked with Emma, found out where I wanted to go, and that was it.
Okay. So I feel like I know the answer to this, but what made you decide to go and train? Was it that one client, or was it that when you found information about Green and Gold, what was it that made you decide?
So I did it because everybody around where I am now does waxing like I do waxing. So when I first did, especially my intimate waxing, nobody else did intimate like I did. So I had the whole of the area because anyone would post on Facebook, can anyone recommend anyone? And everybody would just say, you need to go to Nicola. Nobody does it like Nicola. And so I had the crowd. But over the last 18 months, 2 years, and I then moved from my location where I was to my current location, which meant a couple of my clients were finding it a bit more difficult because it was quite far out. So I was losing my clients because other salons were training the same way as I trained. So I wasn't any different.
No.
And
Okay.
I don't like not being different. So I thought, right, I need to do something else. And it was then that it all fell into place. My client said to me, you need to try sugaring. I knew I needed to do something else. And that was it.
Now, you said there that you moved locations.
Yeah.
Prior to moving locations and everybody else still waxing, were you still fairly busy? Like there was
Oh,
enough.
yeah. Yeah.
So I always find this really interesting. Obviously, it's amazing to have that niche, that's something new, but it just goes to prove that we can all still sugar. And because hairdressers or waxers or whatever we are, there's enough space for us all.
Yeah.
Everyone's got maybe their own vibe. It's more so your location. Your location became the niche. Then you've got this niche service, and it was like almost like oh my God, you were totally out there then. And
Yeah.
even though the distance that you were out further, your clients were like, the distance doesn't matter. That service is
Yeah.
worth the travel. And I love that. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And all of my clients are, I mean, they spread the word anyway. I rely heavily on word of mouth because I'm not very good on social media.
You don't
I
have
think I'm too old. Um, but
absolutely not.
they
Never was.
now they now are saying to everybody what a difference it makes. And even I can't make. So when I trained, I have to say, I was really unsure about it makes such a difference. The hair doesn't grow back. And I kept saying to my clients, I just can't see it. I think we're going down the route of it's going to be less painful. None of this, the hair's not going to grow back. But oh my goodness, I feel like I'm going to do myself out of business, which
It's
worries me.
so that was the original training that you did. That was the accelerated, the 1 day.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about. That's when you first were like, okay, don't know. What
yeah,
made you go from the first lot of sugaring, get into grips with it? Why did you then decide? Because obviously I met you later down the line when you
yeah.
started to do intimate training. So what made you then decide to do that extra?
Carry on.
Yeah.
So I have to say, I wasn't 100% taken with the normal sugaring.
Okay.
So I just found it so slow. And I'm so used to quick in, quick out, as are all my clients.
Yeah.
So going from a quick 20-minute full leg wax to a now 45-minute or an hour full leg sugaring, I just found it really hard. And actually, I was saying to my first client this morning, I said, oh, how I've transitioned from a quick wax, 15 minutes in on the bed, waxed, paid, next booking out, to a 30-minute sugaring, I found really hard. But now I'm embracing it. And I'll say to my clients, no, you're here for a chat as well as to have the sugaring, because it does take that much longer. So when I first trained, I was really unsure and I found it really hard.
Yeah.
If I couldn't get the sugar off, I'd panic. And obviously, the different temperatures in the body and me. And every time I panicked, I felt I was getting hotter. So then I couldn't get it off. I was like, no, this isn't for me. I can't do it. And I don't know. I just felt like I needed, I love intimate waxing. It's
Yeah.
all I really spend my days talking about. I do other waxing, but I am primarily intimate waxing. And I thought, I've got to try and go all the way. What's the point in doing half of it and not doing the rest?
It's like someone going from shaving to sugaring once. It's like you've not done it all.
What's the point?
You've got to do a few more. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that's a really, really good point that you were saying. For anybody that maybe is not already sugaring, but is in the industry in hair removal, it can be such a difficult decision to transition, knowing that your skill set can be here and you can train
It's
at something.
there. Yeah.
It's not that your knowledge isn't there, everything's there. It's just picking up that speed. And I often try and relate it to lash extensions.
Mm.
You can learn the technique, but you have got to go through maybe a few case studies, a bit of troubleshooting, and your speed will improve. It's like anything, you can't just go from A to Z straight away.
No.
In
Even
your
though I like to try.
But that's the ticket. It is about trying and trial and error and adapting to your environments and seeing, do I need more paste? Do I need to maybe have it a little bit warmer? Do I actually need, and these are the things that
It's a lot more technical, I
we,
think.
yeah.
And I've just got stuck in a rut with waxing because I knew it inside out. I would never talk to my clients about their hair growth. I just would wax it off and that was it. And then we'd book in 4 to 6 weeks. Whereas now I've got the sugar paste in my hand and I'm going, oh, look at that, look at that. And they're disgusted. And I'm like, oh, it's lovely. I love it. And I now, because I've had to relearn about the hair stages, I've known them for 20 odd years, but you take them for granted. Whereas now I'm saying to clients, right, we're not in the right stage of the process because see this X, Y, and Z. Whereas like before I just go, yeah, that's fine, the hairs aren't coming out, but they might come out next month. Whereas now I feel like I'm educating them.
Yeah.
And as for aftercare, no one does aftercare until now. I retail so much
And
because it's brilliant.
it's almost like CPD, that continual professional development.
Yeah.
We can get almost so complacent in our trade when you have learned the basics And there is so much more that's always evolving and changing and swapping.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so glad. This
yeah.
literally, my face is like
And
up here.
there have been times where I have thought, I can't do it. I, I just, I can't get the sugar off. I can't understand why. And then I literally step back and I say to my client, oh, well, I'm just going to have a little chat with you for 5 minutes. I'm just going to drop my sugar paste there and we're just going to chat just so that I forget what I'm doing.
Yep.
They're not stressed because they can see I'm getting stressed because I can't get the paste off. And then I go back to it and I'm going, oh, okay, right. And off it comes.
And you're
Yeah.
always like,
How?
I did that last time. And you said about, with your waxing and it just being like second nature.
Mm,
But that just shows the level of skill that you've improved on because it became second nature when you weren't thinking about it. It was muscle memory in your head, and you're like, done.
yeah.
Almost just not taking it too
It's
seriously.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
starting to happen. And I'll tell you what else I now swear by, and my clients do laugh. I swear by this whole breathing. Breathe in. And when I say breathe out, I mean, not that I don't care about my clients, but I don't do it for my clients. I do it for me because if I get stuck getting the sugar off, I literally am like, right, okay, let's go for the breathing. And I make them breathe in. And as they breathe out, bang, it's off.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, it's so much less painful. I'm like, oh, I don't really care. I've got it off.
It's almost that unconscious bias in your head that,
Yeah,
yeah, oh,
it
I'm
totally works.
breathing is the way forward. Who knew?
Yeah.
I like it. I like this. I'm so glad that we're doing these interviews, and I hope everybody watching has been able to take something from it because I just think hearing someone firsthand, it's me as an educator. Yes, I'm a therapist, but hearing either troubleshooting from yourself, I just think is so much more helpful sometimes.
Real.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pick another question. What else do I want to ask you? Okay, so you knew you wanted to sugar, you did the sugar, you went further into the sugar. How did you find green and gold for maybe support, or what made you pick us?
Well, I'll be totally honest. You're the only ones that were you. The lady that gave me the information only came to you,
Okay.
and there was one other girl that I follow, sugaring, because I started following everyone on Instagram. They were based in Ireland, and I'd said to them, where do you get your training? Do you know anyone in England? And when I said I'm training with you guys, she said to me, I've heard really good things. So there was, I mean, I wasn't going to look anywhere else. I was really happy with how Emma looked after me. And even now, the pair of you
Oh,
actually are brilliant. If there is anything that I am stuck on, I know that I can just send a WhatsApp
oh
and
yeah.
you're at the other end. And I think that really helps because you can't do that with everybody.
No, I've been there before where you just feel that you're just talking out into like ether really, and you're just like
Yeah.
putting it out into the iCloud and other storage
Hoping,
things are there. But yeah,
hoping someone's going to get back. So,
oh,
yeah, that really helps. And even like up until last week, I messaged Emma saying, oh, my pace doesn't feel right. Am I doing something wrong? And I had my air conditioning unit cleaned for the first time ever in 4 years, and which meant it's changed the temperature of my room. So now I can't, unless I put it on aircon, which obviously we don't want, I now can't get my room to a temperature where it was before. So it is now a lot warmer. So Emma just said, oh, well, maybe change the heat on your paste. So it's all of those little things that actually you think, oh, yeah, that's common sense. But it needs somebody to maybe just tell you that.
sometimes it's like almost like that stepping away, just going, okay, what things can I look at? I've tried this one, that's not changing. Okay, let's try that next one. It's that troubleshooting, and
Yeah.
that can only sometimes come from the continued practice because
Yeah.
you know that your skills there, you know you've got it off, but you're like, okay, but what's going on here? Oh, okay, well, I'm glad that you got it sorted.
Mm.
Did it make a difference?
Yeah, it has made a difference. Yeah. So just by turning, I think I've turned it up slightly. It's made a difference. And I'll tell you what really helps me because I am on my own
Yep.
and I'm in my cabin. I nearly said shed, but we'll go cabin. I'm in my cabin in the garden. It can be really lonely. And there's nothing worse than not being able to bat ideas or ask questions from people. So having you and Emma,
Mhm.
I just feel like, even though we're nowhere near each other and even though we're not connected, I do feel like you're not going to care or Emma's not going to care if I say, oh, look, I've just got a quick question,
Oh yeah.
which you would normally do if you were in a salon.
And that's the thing. So many of us are now going off into our own little spaces that you are busy, you're seeing people, you're chatting, but it's almost like tunnel vision because
Yeah,
it's the same. Not
same
that,
thing.
yeah, and it's lovely. We have that great rapport with people, but like you say, business wise and client wise, it's two separate channels, and you do
Yeah,
need somewhere that's just a safe space. And that's
yeah.
why me and Emma just keep doing this because we just think, you know what, if it can just help somebody with one thing each and
Mm.
every time that we're chatting, then hopefully, we're paving the way and
It's
opening the space.
yeah, yeah. It makes a massive difference, and I like listening to you and Emma and hearing what I think, because being on your own, you do kind of just you stick to what you know because you don't want to try anything else. Whereas if you're listening to what other people are saying and doing, you think, oh, I might give that a little go. So
Yeah.
yeah, it makes a massive difference.
Oh, I'm so glad. Oh, see, Emma, see? I just keep smiling. That's all I ever do. Smile, smile, smile. How did you find training? So the training day itself. So obviously you've done two lots of training. How
Yeah,
did you find it?
the first day, I suppose, because I was very new to it. I mean, I was absolutely worn out by the end of day
Oh
one.
yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Could you
And I
imagine
was thinking,
coming back for a second day?
hey,
Could you imagine coming back for a second day?
no, 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 no. So when I first did it, I was like, oh my God, I've got it the next day. My arm hurt. And I was thinking, oh, I just don't know. I'm just not sure. Training was good and it was thorough,
Yeah.
but it was quite,
Lot to pack in.
yeah, yeah. And given my age, I sometimes think I'm not sure that actually I can take that much in. But when I came to you for training, because I'd already done the basics, I
Yeah.
kind of knew and I was a little bit more confident. So I knew that if I got the pace stuck, for example, I knew that I would be able to get it off because I can.
Yeah. Now,
So it
how
was a little bit easier.
did you have between your initial training and then the intimate? Can you remember?
Oh, a couple of months.
Couple of months.
Yeah, not
Could you
much.
imagine? So, obviously, as a student wanting to go into sugaring, it can seem like obviously we do the 2 day, which is the essentials, and we've got the 1 day, which is the accelerated. Now, as
Yeah.
a waxer, 1 day seems like obviously it's there because we're just building on what you know, and you're still shattered.
I couldn't have done 2 days.
But then for can you see the importance of maybe doing so for somebody that maybe has got no knowledge, has never done it? It's obviously going to be intense, but imagine going to it, having 1 day and learning everything that you did with no prior knowledge.
No knowledge. I just don't think I can. I
No.
think so what does the 2 days do?
So the difference is the 2 day gets you to grips with hair, body, anatomy,
Yeah.
leg, and usually maybe even just underarms, but it's the whole working with a client, having them on the bed, learning to put the hand in the paste, holding a product.
Yeah,
The,
that was the thing I found hard. Putting my hand in the paste.
the
I was like, I
simple
can't do it.
things,
I can't do it.
but then they come back the second day, almost then where you were at on your first day, and it's like, right, I've got this knowledge. I've sort of understand what it is. I understand how it is to be with a client, to touch, to hold, you know,
Yeah.
because there is no way for somebody that's ever had zero knowledge to just come in. You can't
You can't do it in 1 day.
now. There's
No.
and it can seem like it's really outstretched for somebody thinking, oh, why do two? I just want to 1 day. But you can obviously see yourself
Yeah. There is absolutely no way you can cram it all into 1 day.
with
And
me.
actually, it kind of, I wouldn't enjoy it. I
No,
enjoyed the 1 day because I've got the background, but I enjoyed the 1 day because it's enough, and it is non-stop for that day. To so I wouldn't. I
You
probably, before I'd have done it, I probably would have said, right, I'm going to do the normal sugaring and then the intimate together. Absolutely no way, you can't do it.
That was my next one.
Yeah,
You hit the nail on the head. You just said that you knew that you could get that sugar off.
yeah.
Whereas to spread it out and separate and come back again, it's like, what? Why? But actually,
You
having
need to.
that little gap, a couple of months, just to get to grips with your pace and consistency and to come back with fresh eyes,
Yeah,
all the difference.
absolutely. If I had to go back the next day to do the intimate, I would not have enjoyed it
Yeah.
because I wasn't confident enough. I
Yeah.
needed to have the practice of just taking it off of the legs,
Yeah.
or just practice, because actually it really hurts your arms. I'm sure I've built up my arm muscles on my right side and not my left side, because you do. So
It's a
you
new,
need that gap.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I know that we teach you to relax and not take that strain, but when you're learning something new, it's all right hearing it. It's
Mm.
another thing just finding that fluidity.
Yeah, even now, sometimes if I'm recording myself, sometimes I look and think, God, your fingers are so rigid. You need to relax them.
Who's that?
Yeah. So it's for you constantly just adjusting. And actually, I think it's really good to record it. I mean, I hate seeing me being recorded, but it's good for me to watch myself
Mhm.
because it always brings me back to my training days when I think, oh, that's not how I was taught to do it. I was taught to do it like this. So to see myself carry on, I know I'm still making mistakes.
And it's always just about self-reflection and just
Yeah.
speaking and noticing those difference. I still do it now. I'll get to the end of my mold and go, and I just do this little wiggle.
Yeah, I saw you doing that, didn't I?
Yeah, and I always do it, but it's just me self-reflecting, going, and relax a second and go. And the
Yeah.
times I don't do it is the times that I get stuck myself. And then I silently swear at a small space on the wall and politely smile to my client and think, that's because you didn't do the wiggle. So
Yeah.
we're all still there now. Um, what advice would you have to anyone watching this thinking of training?
So long as you're not in my area, train. Because I want this. I don't want to share it. No, I would say definitely do it. One, because I think I mean, seeing the difference in hair reduction, and I never, ever, ever thought that it would be the case. It is amazing. Totally different from waxing. I'll always put my wax pot on, but maybe 2% of my week is used up with waxing now.
And, do you think that you would be challenging yourself moving forward to think, okay, maybe once out of the week it goes on, or maybe just once every other week it goes on? Do you feel like you see that
I do
pattern?
think that, because the one downside I had a couple of weeks ago, which is, oh, mind you, I did make her have sugaring because the wax wasn't ready. But one client did say to me, and I said, like I say to all my clients, oh, we're going to sugar you today. And she wasn't happy. Oh, I don't want sugar and I don't know enough about it. So I kind of talked her through it, and I was like, I'm not going to do something that is going to be worse for you than sugaring is. It's the same process. We just have a few different movements, but she was not impressed. And she kind of looked at the clock and said, oh, we'd be done if it was waxing now.
How did
And
she
she,
go on?
well, and she said to me, do I have to have sugaring going forward? And I said, well, for the time being, I will have my waxing, but it might be that we just go to sugaring. So I only have this client every time she goes on holiday. So every couple of months I have her.
And was it just the time element, or have you seen her since to be able to see how she?
No, so I've not seen her since because she hasn't been away since.
Yeah.
I did message her saying, so how is it? And she was, oh yeah, no, it's fine. So there was no feedback at all. And
But I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
think it was, I
she
think it's just because she didn't know what sugaring was.
And
And
that,
that's the one thing I'm finding hard. People don't know what sugaring is. So
yeah.
they're a bit reluctant to try it. But I literally just say to all my clients, even if they book in for waxing, I'll say to them, right, we're going to sugar you today. And then when I explain it, they're like, oh, yeah, great.
And this is it. This is, feel like you said, that tunnel vision of us working on our own. We talk about it all the time as
Mm,
the same bits of information, and it can almost feel like everybody knows about it, but you very only have to
yeah,
for your own space and realize that how far that word has still not spread yet.
yeah,
It is, it's the education. And I think that for a lot of clients, if they've had maybe a bit of PTSD about hot and temperature and burning and skin grazes and things like that, the thought of going to something else that they don't know when they've maybe been failed with other processes in the past, it can be a bit apprehensive. She is going on holiday. She doesn't want to have anything that could be damaging her skin. She's happy
yeah.
where she's at, but it'll be really interesting to see when she
When
comes.
she comes back.
And that's
Yeah,
usually where it happens, where, because I'm pretty sure she would have been very comfortable telling you that she didn't like it. She seems forward enough and confident enough to tell you. So that text message to me is like a, yeah,
I'm not going to tell you I liked it, but I liked it.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm taking from it.
yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to be checking in with you now. I need to know. I'm committed to the story and I need to know
I
all.
will keep you posted.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I know
You're
it's
very welcome.
very daunting to come on here. Hopefully, this was as comfortable as the training day.
Yeah, that was absolutely fine.
Good. Well, you're going to be seeing your face famously posted online, obviously on our little network. So
Yeah,
look
put
forward
me
to,
out there.
yeah, and get cracking with that sugar in and turn that wax off for maybe.
Yes, I might leave the wax off today.
See, look what you've gained. You've not even been listening to the video, and you've gained something from today. Just
Yeah,
test yourself.
I need to because I know I can do it. And actually, 95% of my clients are sugaring anyway.
So I used to do this. I'm just going to, before I wrap up, I used to sugar brows with a stick because I came from waxing. So
Mm.
it just felt, oh, it's not going to let me, oh, go away. It's telling me that my time's running out.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you
10
for it.
minutes.
Oh, it's still giving me 9. Okay, I've got enough time. Yeah, so me transitioning from a stick to a finger, I've got big hands and a big hand span. I was like, I can't do that.
Yeah,
And so a lot of the time I'd start with the stick and then I was like, right, if I ever want to progress in this and educate and teach, I'm going to have to learn it. I'm going to have to do
yeah,
it. So I would then start on the good side of the brow that was easier. And
yeah,
if I couldn't and I got stuck, then I'd pick up the stick. And then I was like, no, 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 you're just going to have to push through. And eventually it would be that I could do the unders and then I struggle in the middle. And then eventually, like, I was just like, well, that's it now. No more sticks. And
yeah.
it's a slow progression. We don't all just go, nailed it.
Got it.
Yeah. So it is about testing your own self and just
Yeah.
pushing through that little bit of uncomfortableness.
To get it right, to get it
It,
how I want it to be.
well,
Yeah. Then I'm
I,
going to rule the world around here.
but equally sharing it. I mean, I know where you're at, not wanting to share, but what a fab community the sugaring world is. It
Oh,
isn't
yeah.
standoffish and do not come to me. It's like, no, come in. Let's all
Yeah.
talk. And so I know it can be daunting, but you've got this. And the more
Yes.
sugars out there, the better the world will be.
Oh, my God. The dog's snoring.
Oh,
I
bless.
don't know if you can hear her.
That's the perfect time to end the conversation. Have a lovely day, Nicola, and I will
Thank you. And you.
soon. Bye.
Speak to you soon. Bye.